our panel. We're so honored and grateful that you're spending your afternoon with us at the Marriott Marquis. We are going to be talking about tasting pop culture. I know that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, but we're going to try to hold the conversation and really dig into our wonderful panelists' professions, how they see food, what food does for them, what food does for our communities, and what also, what fandoms come out of it. Because you know what, as a lover of food, a designated foodie myself, I'm a big fan of food. If there was a food convention, find me there. Because I love trying new food. I love enhancing the palate that I have. And I have young ones, and I love seeing them discover new food, just like how I feel like I become a kid again when I taste something that just blows me out of the water. So we're going to be exploring the emotional and cultural impact of iconic foods today.
We will start our panels with a land acknowledgement, so we do want to acknowledge that we're currently on Tongva and Homeneo tribal land, and although we gathered here to be able to appreciate pop culture, they are the ancestral owners of this land. And potential trigger warning. We don't plan on there being anything very scary talking about food. However, food can be a topic that is difficult if you have struggled with an eating disorder, body dysmorphia, if you have had a family culture that is shamed around eating, and those things could come up for you. So if they do, we just ask you to take care of yourself. That is that component of feel free to walk outside if you'd rather sit on the floor, stretch yourself out, do things for your body that will make you feel good in the moment so that you can enjoy the panel versus having an experience that makes you feel pulled away.
Yeah. If you get hungry and you have a snack, you can pull it out and do that. We're not going to. We're not going to make you share, but we may ask you what you're eating. Because you're always very welcome. Hey, this is here. All right, perfect. Well, my name is Stefanie Bautista. I'm going to be one of your moderators for today. I am a Filipino American, born and raised in LA. Been living in San Diego all my life. It's like San Diego and Las Vegas, I feel like are extensions of LA. People say that, but a lot of my heart is in the Southern California area. So I am an educator by profession. I used to be a fourth grade teacher, kindergarten teacher, and now I do programming in the general LA area. I run all the after school athletics, camps, anything outside of school. I'm that person. I love seeking out new people to teach our kids different things. I know growing up in LA, a lot of my arts, cooking, things like that have been taken out of the school system. So my job is to try to put those electives and all that fun stuff back inside to, give kids experiential learning rather than just lecture learning, which is sometimes good, but I love it when kids get, into it and just spark their interest in conversation that way. I love fried food. I love fried food. I love bread. I'm probably going to pay the price for that later, but I still will eat a whole baguette to myself. And I love washing it down with coffee. As an educator, I have a plethora of mugs and plenty of coffee to go in those mugs. But I do love the Krabby Patty. That's my favorite Fandom food. I love SpongeBob. I love how we're celebrating SpongeBob this time at Comic-Con. It's 25th anniversary, which is awesome. And I love everything music and pop culture. That's a big part of my life. Even though I didn't end up in that industry, I love connecting with my students through pop culture, through music, through history, learning where things are, where they are now, where they could be in the future. Because I feel like if we get a sense of all of that, it makes you a little bit more well-rounded and it brings us more together as a community. So that's it.
Family and individuals I would have to say my other favorite food is ramen. I don't know about you, but I like figuring out a new way to make ramen at home and adding things to it. And I bought these ramen toppers that I've just been obsessed with recently. So that's where we're at with food. And then for fandom food, going to Disneyland. I want anything maybe shaped. I want a churro. I want a beignet. We're starting to see a lot of sweets here. And that would be, I would say, my fandom food. Unless we're talking about Gilmore Girls, in which I would like to have Luke's coffee from his diner.
Hi, what's up, everybody? Chance Calloway. I had to pull up the slide because I didn't remember what I told you to put on. I don't know who I am. I'm many things. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a musician. I'm an author, a published poet, all these kind of things. I just like making art. My favorite foods, I like food. I can be specific, and I guess I was here, but I just like food. I like flavors, I like spices. I'm Creole, so the more the better. I love water. I love water as much as I love food. And some people are like, oh, but water doesn't have a taste. Yes, it does. It does. Yes, it does. It's delicious. I love water. Fandom foods. I'm the guy that watches a movie and I'm like, that looks good. I don't care if it's a cartoon. I don't care if it's live action. If it looks good, it looks good. And so, yeah, definitely anything that Kronk cooks, maybe because it's Kronk. And then I also love the pizza in the movie. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering right now. She had breakfast. And then, of course, the ratatouille that Marina makes in Ratatouille. What else does it say? Passions. I have a passion for life. I really love Kylie Bell. Me and Stefanie went and saw her 2 weekends ago at the Hollywood Bowl. It was amazing. I love Batman. I love the US Musketeers. I love Robin Hood. I love everything. I'm just a very passionate person. If I love it a lot. So I'm not a therapist. I go to therapy.
Yeah.
So I think now you know what.
From San Diego, California. We're at the house here today. I was told to do this last minute. Okay? So my apologies. I never really come down to Comic-Con. Being a native from San Diego, I'm always around the area. But the last few years, I've been blessed to be able to work it or be able to be with Ariel and JW, my friend over here in the front row. Just to be able to be around it, to actually see it, I'm so amazed by everyone and grateful to be around here. What did I say? Because I don't even know. I identify as human or black, I guess. That's what I said, right? All right. I'm a vocalist, I'm an actor, stage manager. What else?
A wonderful vocalist.
I don't even sing something, it's crazy. I have a family company called Zen Pain Relief. Was founded and originated by my grandfather in San Diego, California. I'm a brand ambassador for that, and I do production assistance and everything in the entertainment I'm a part of. Love it, can't complain. Favorite foods: pasta, burgers, California burritos, carne asada fries. Showing my San Diego nativeness right there. Love lobster, spinach. Spinach is definitely because of Popeye. I kid you not. Shrimp, apples, bananas. I love food though. I cry when I eat. If you can cook and it tastes well, I will have a tear.
Yes.
I'm not lying. I'm dead ass about that. Water. I don't know if that was loud. Water. Just like how Chance said, water is just phenomenal. I can't go without water. Dr. Pepper, weird things right there. What else? Ramen from Fandom Foods, from the ramen from Naruto. Love that ramen. I just got into Naruto, so don't quiz me about anything else. I love Dragon Ball though. I love Inuyasha, Yu Hakusho. I grew up on the Sailor Moon, Pokemon. What else? The pizza from Turtles, from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Flintstones push-ups. Love those. Scooby-Doo cinnamon marshmallow cereal. I don't know if everyone remembers that. That was my thing. And then the Scooby-Doo fruit snacks. I love them. My nickname is Scooby-Doo, FYI. You can't tell. And then my favorite passions is Batman, Spider-Man, Dragon Ball universe. What else? Terminator, Jurassic Park. I didn't put that there. There's so many I love. If it's good, I'm watching it. I'm there. It might take me some time, like Naruto took me time, but you know I'm there. I'm like 5 seasons in. One Piece, I will tackle it one of these days. Yes, thank you. But that's who I am. Happy to be here. Thank you again, Erica. Hey, we got some Power Rangers in there. Forgot to mention Power Rangers.
Hi, my name is Tiffie. Can y'all hear me? Yeah. Okay, cool. Everyone's all qualified and I just be eating. So I am a content creator. I post, mostly I'm just on the internet talking about things that I love, which right now is House of the Dragon. So that's where my mind is. But I don't know what you guys wanted for identities. I was just like black. So I didn't know we needed anything beyond that. I was like, no. And my favorite foods, I'm a hot Cheeto girl through and through. I'm so happy that it's popular now. I'm like, good, because I got like a hot Cheeto makeup palette now and a tank top. And who would have thought when I was in high school being obnoxious in class that one day the world would see me? It's so good. So hot Cheetos are my favorite foods. I also love calamari. Like I be ranking calamari. It's gotta be right. You know, it's gotta be right. I really love mangoes as well. My favorite drink, pineapple juice. Hey, okay. You might like pineapple juice more than I do, that's okay. But water, and I feel that, because water does be tasting different. Dasani, if you like, who likes Dasani? Don't be shy. Okay, good, I was gonna shame you. You should big on water. And as far as Fandom food, okay, cheeseburgers, but like Bob's Burgers. Has anyone ever seen that cookbook? Yes. Don't make the one with the olives. Maybe I made it wrong, but don't make that one. The other burgers from that book are super great. Ramen, like a lot of y'all, but not from any specific fandom. I just be liking ramen in general. I'm just like, this counts. Chocolate parfait from Sailor Moon. Any like old head, Geek, Sailor Moon people here? Y'all remember when Malachi died, or Nephilim died, and Molly and him were supposed to go get chocolate parfait? To this day, I'll ride for chocolate parfait because of that person. 30 years later. And then the Ronto rap from Star Wars. But here's the thing, I'm gonna admit to y'all, I've never seen Star Wars. But when I tell you, I know it's crazy, right? But that Ronto rap at Disneyland, I'm Bright Sun's greatest moves. You would think that I knew everything about the franchise. I do my best. I'm a big on Ronto rap being a poser. But then, my passions, I'm really big on X-Men. I love X-Men. I love Sailor Moon. She wore her hair in space buns every day, and damn it, so will I. Avatar, The Last Airbender, Bridgerton, and then, like I said, House of the Dragon. So that's me.
I don't know if you can top that, first off, my name is Albert Daniel, Chef Albert, and I am a chocolatier. I make, for those people who don't know what a chocolatier is, I make chocolates and candy confections for a living. To kind of give you guys a bit of a background, I was a personal trainer for about 15 years, and I did a career shift, and I said, you know what, I want to make candy. And I was against it being Filipino, coming to America. And so I was supposed to be a nurse, and I decided not to. I'm going to give them the long story short. But long story short, I was homeless at one point. I lost it all, and I had an uphill battle of teaching myself how to make chocolates from scratch. And so I was making cake pops for about 8 years. But about 4 years ago, or 5 before COVID, I shifted to making high-end confections. And now I make chocolates for Disney, Marvel. I did Guardians of the Galaxy, Frozen. I do chocolates for Netflix, and I'm on a TV show. If you guys check out Who Baker's Dozen, I'm on the first episode.
That's right.
I don't know if I'm allowed to give your gift now. Should I give the gift now or later on?
It's like, it's your gift.
Okay. there's a questionnaire that was given to us. I don't know what I answered, so can I borrow your prompt?
Yeah.
So, I'm not a most tech savvy. This is my partner, by the way. He's my tech guy. Okay, so now, identity. I'm an email and professional. I'm a chocolatier. Favorite foods, Thai food. I love Indian food, Thai food, anything spicy. I love Thai food. Thai coffee is my favorite drink because of the caffeine. I run my own, I just opened a chocolate shop in Long Beach. Please stop by. It's called Albert's Petite Sweets. And if you guys go check out, it's a party collective, it's a ghost kitchen in Long Beach. I'm serious. Follow me on Instagram, Albert's Petite Sweets, DM me. I would love to give you a personal tour of my facility, give you samples, and show you my passion. I seriously love it. It's something that I've been working on for so many years, and now it's my full-time job. So I wanted to give the entire panel to welcome you guys here. So years ago, I was actually asked to make chocolates for Guardians of the Galaxy. And so, I made you guys Guardians of the Galaxy.
I just tried to airdrop it and it was failing. So sorry. I will try at the end of the panel to airdrop it here so you can see what it looks like.
So basically, Groot is made out of milk and dark chocolate, filled with toffee caramel, and the bonbons inside. The first one is a coffee ganache with crushed espresso beans. The purple one is actually a vegan dark chocolate, passion-free caramel, gluten-free and vegan, and then the red one is hazelnut cream with toasted grapes. Kind of crazy, a crazy journey, and Disney asked me to do what's it called? Boogie Bash downtown Disney. But at the time, I was working from home, and so they said, "Hey Albert, if you're going to be doing our chocolates and having your products at the storefronts of Disney, you have to leave your house." And so, perfectly fine. So I shopped around. I found this place in Long Beach, and I'm like, oh my partner, I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't even have this money. So obviously this fear factor of entering something, the unknown, and then the whole family is like, against the idea. I'm like, you know what, Albert? It's nothing like you've ever done before. You face adversary, you conquer your fears. It's the same thing. It's just bigger. So I did it. I got certified in December, and now I have a kitchen and a chocolate factory, and everything's paid off. So,
And Disney
The information is at the end, so if you didn't catch that the first time, you don't have to scroll now, but at the end we included where to find him, how to connect with him, so we laid it out all for you.
So one more. So now, answering the other question. So, phantom food, ramen, and I go to you that one. So, my partner and I will watch Naruto, and some of the things we'll do together, we actually made our own, like a little pot, a hot pot thing, and when we sit up on the table, I'm Filipino, so I sit on the floor, and the table's in front of us, and then we'll eat with our chopsticks, sometimes with my hands, of course, and then having some of the foods on, like the ramen movie, passion, fandoms, Avatar, The Last Airbender. That's unfortunately not Korra, but and then of course other ones like Aliens, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Demon Slayer, and My Hero Academia.
Wow. I'm a little annoyed that I'm last.
You got this, girl, you got this.
What a panel, you guys. This is amazing. I saw the slides and stuff that we probably 2 weeks ago. But this is putting this together. The panelists up here with me. Your story is so inspiring. Hello, everyone. My name is Chrisell Nguyen, born and raised here in San Diego. This is my first time at Comic-Con, so honestly, never in my life wanted to attend this but my son, he's 8, gets to attend, and I'm almost 40, and this is my first time at Comic-Con, so thank you. I am female, boss, Panay, and I own a bakery here located in San Diego. When I started baking cakes, it was actually from my home kitchen. It was just a passion at the time, and with social media, it turned into a crazy business in my kitchen. 5 employees, 1 oven, my husband handing off boxes, putting buttercream on cupcakes, and it became a full operation overnight. I made cakes for comedian Joe Coy, comedian Alan Long. If you are a Padre fan, which you should be, I do Manny Machado's cakes and have driven to his house twice. Profar has been to my house, and I didn't know it was him. But it just goes to show, when you put passion into something you love and continue to keep fighting, your dreams come true. So here we are. Favorite foods, I have a lot. Clearly San Diego, carne asada fries, carne asada burritos. Going along with stuff, everything fried. I love everything with oil and carbs. And pizza, pasta, Filipino spam, ramen, sushi. My husband is Vietnamese, so I love everything pho. I'd also like to mention that my goal is to travel the world and taste all of the things that we've had here in America. I want a real bowl from Vietnam and see what their pad thai tastes like, and a real dish of pancit in the Philippines. That is something that I dream of. Korean japchae, Korean pancakes, McDonald's 20-piece, I can eat the whole box. In-N-Out. We have our weekly In-N-Out dates, right after? Orange chicken, roll tacos, and a late night cereal every time.
Yes.
Favorite drinks? Everything is fresh. I feel like I'm like repeating what you just said, Steph. It's like everything drinking, everything coffee related. I love matcha, milky, sugary drinks that are not healthy for you. Tiffie, I know you mentioned you love water. I actually don't drink water, but I'm drinking it today. That is what I have heard. Favorite Fandom foods? Harry Potter butterbeer. The Star Wars blue milk tea. I don't know if anyone has that. Yeah, Disneyland, but that's like one of my favorites. Burrito, obviously the ramen, and I tell this to my husband all the time, and that adding milk to my ramen is like the best combination, and he thinks it's the nastiest thing ever, but I don't know if anyone does that. No, it's just me. Okay, well, you guys have to try it. Please try it. It's like, it's really good. Passions, I love creating, and I love elevating my culture in that the Filipino side of culinary is just not represented well, and so my job as a self-made entrepreneur, that is my goal, is to elevate our cultures and our flavors to what it represents and share it with a lot of people.
And as you can tell, food connects us in so many different ways. It doesn't just feed our bodies, it feeds our minds, it feeds our souls, it feeds us at different times and different places. I know for all of us, if we eat something and we've eaten it for like the second time, we remember the first time we've had that. We remember the place we were, we remember the people we were with, we remember how we were feeling that day, and if it was a strong emotion, you taste those things so much more intensely than you would probably do just, eating something in your car. I travel a lot, so I travel a lot for work, so I'm always eating in my car. But see, that's like my Zen moment. That's like I get peace to myself when there's not like 300 children running around and like a staff of 80 that I have to like wrangle in. So for me, food is it gives me solace, and I know for a lot of people you can tie a certain emotion to when you eat something. Childhood food. I think here at Comic-Con we bring a lot of our childhood self out into the open, and we do that same thing when we eat something we love. We think about the first time we've had like a hot dog, or the first time we've had, like a bowl of rice or something that your parents have cooked for you. Those visceral connections to memory is how food connects us. It connects us to, history, it connects us to our families. There's so many different conversations around just eating a meal that you can go into, and so many different tangents, that I think that's what's so unique about food, that you can truly delve into the who, what, where, when, and why of something that you ate at a certain point in time. So being a fan of food is just like being a fan of pop culture. In fact, one can argue that food fandom is a culture all its own. Ordering the same thing at your favorite restaurant, being a regular there, getting to know people who cook it, you're a fan of that thing, so you keep coming back for more. Just like you have your favorite comfort show. Mine is The Office. For some people, it's Friends. With many other things. We can all find similar foods we're fans of and come together in community to talk about that. Before I move on, I was on the drive here from LA this morning with Chance, and I was telling him that I was watching the last episode of The Bear. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but there's a really beautiful moment with Chef Thomas Keller where he's talking with Carmi, the main character, about who they are as professionals in the culinary industry, and how they're not just chefs, but they're cooks, and they're cooks by trade. And because they're that, their job is to bridge the gap between the natural things that we find in this world and the people who eat those things, and how beautiful that is. And I think that really, thank you, Chef. And that really resonated with me, because I think when we talk about ourselves and how we are on this planet, food is the one thing that we take from the earth, and we turn it into something beautiful, and it creates something that's bigger than we ever thought, which is gathering us all in this time right now. So that's my little soapbox moment. I love food. I'm a big fan. But we're going to talk about fandom food right now. I know there's so many stories here. We talked about the different ways we see food. I know for myself, it's characterized on its own. We talk about McDonald's chicken nuggets. I feel like because now we've seen chicken nuggets like personified. Like, I know there's chicken nugget like Happy Meals where you see like they have eyes and a mouth and stuff. Like, I think that's super cute, and it brings things to life in a way that we never really thought before. And it's a different way of storytelling, right?
Yes, I'm very much into dino nuggets though. I need chips.
Yeah, so creativity when it meets gastronomic enthusiasm and family cuisine, it turns every bite into an adventure. It's storytelling in itself. If you talk to the chef who's made something, they'll tell you that there's a story. We've already heard many stories from our panelists here about how they came up with their creations, and I think that's a part of all of this. So we're going to go really quick so we can get back to our panelists about the different types of ways food is present in fandom. First of all, replicas. We talked about butterbeer, Scooby snacks, Duff beer that you can get over at Universal Studios. These are things that were made in fictional settings, but we brought them to life. And can anybody just shout out a food replica that they really like?
Something from a show or a movie, music video. Simpsons Donuts.
Simpsons Donuts, yeah. Anybody on panel? Oh,
What?
Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking that too. Yeah.
Butterbeer.
Butterbeer, yeah.
Butterbeer.
So theme, this is when you have food inspired by a narrative, such as like Whoopie Cookies for Star Wars, or if you're having a party and you're doing a party theme. So I know when Game of Thrones was in its OG original state, I would have Game of Thrones themed dinners for every episode, and I would make them out of the different, a lot of stuff in Westeros really, but, when it came to Star Wars Day, May the 4th, I always make Leia cupcakes with the Princess Leia ears, or her hair with her ears. Oh, I'm thinking Disney, sorry, I have Leia ears.
All the fandom to like enjoy themed foods, like depending on what your family is.
Then there's also marketing. So sometimes we have collaborations. If anybody else like remember like the BTS meal that was happening,
Yeah.
right? So anytime that marketing with food and mixing it with the fandom, most recently it was the light side, dark side Oreo cookies. Did you all get those? Did you find the hacks to figure out which ones were actually light and dark? Do you want to know the hack?
Do you want to spoil it?
Just look for the letter A or the letter B.
So in manufacturing, everything has a number. So if you just look at the back, and if it ends with A, you're gonna get.
Wait, so you can't tell looking at the package whether you have light ones or dark
No,
ones?
it's supposed to be a
It's supposed to be a
surprise.
surprise. So it's like what
Oh.
yeah. Let's give it to you.
Yeah, what the force, you know, are you
And so you can look and see A or B, and that means you know.
Yes, all the
Okay.
system. The hacking. I like food hacking.
Yeah, and then there's food brands, a dedication to real life food brands like McDonald's or M&M's, and creating food and fan communities for their iconic status and personal significance. There is a ramen museum in many parts of Japan that you can go and make your own ramen because ramen's so big out there and everybody loves ramen. There's the iconic M&M's world in Las Vegas. If you've been to Las Vegas, it is still going strong. And there's one in New York too. I remember visiting as a child and being like, there's a whole store dedicated to M&M's. Like, what? And then I just ate M&M's until my stomach hurt. And now my son's doing the same exact thing. So, you know, the life comes full circle.
So recently, my partner took me to Olive Garden because I demanded it. And turns out you can buy the cheese grater. You can buy that cheese. Just as a, you know, if you want to, if you want someone to say, tell me what.
Ariel.
And then there's also iconic food. The Disneyland churro, iconic. There's very many different iterations to that. There's also KFC chicken that's had like a resurgence in years. I know if you go to the store box lunch, they have a whole entire section dedicated to KFC like merchandise. You can get an outfit head to toe in fried chicken.
Yeah.
You really love that fried chicken. So these are things that's just recognizable to anybody around the world. Like if you go to another country, you can find their version of Starbucks. That's kind of how one of those things just kind of transcends what we experience here in the States. And the last one is gamification.
So gamification is when you add a game component to your meal. When we were in Mexico, we ate at a restaurant where they had something called Le Petit Chef, and it was a projection on the table, and there was a tiny chef that like cooked your meal, and then they put the food in front of you. And we went with this little girl who was almost 9, and she ate spaghetti the whole time, the whole trip. La Petite Chef got her to try octopus, got her to try steak, got her to try all these foods because there was a gamification to it, and he would be attacking the shrimp in the water, and she was like, I gotta eat it because he worked so hard to like Other gamifications are cultural ones. I put in the king's cake, that's what that is for the little baby. If you get that Mardi Gras and you get that baby, you king for the day.
Oh.
For the day. Yeah. So, you know, if you are having trouble figuring out a way to enjoy a meal,
Hide plastic in the food.
know it's there.
All right, so we're going to ask our panelists specific questions pertaining to, you know, what their connection to food is. So, Luz, we're going to start with you. It's you. Whether you're the performer or managing the production, what do you have to consider for food and nourishment?
When I'm the performer, I definitely have to think about what will give me the most energy. Bringing back spinach. You know, I swear to God, when I eat a nice salad, put some lemon on it, on the salad. I don't necessarily eat dressing with my salads. I put some lemon and pepper, and I get the boost I never thought I would have on stage. Performing 10 minutes straight. I'm performing on Saturday, the 27th, if anyone wants to come down at San Isidro. But I'm performing more than 10 minutes, maybe 30, and I just need a good salad to get going. But when I am at a production, I think about what can keep people happy and what can keep people going. So a lot of food snacks, a lot of vegetables, a lot of good fruits. And I will also say hearty have like a food truck that is specializing on different meals. I don't know. We have one food truck that had a guy that cooked us macaroni and cheese, scalloped potatoes, and ribeye steak. We had one day where they just hooked up some ramen and some pork, Korean style pork ribs. Phenomenal. And I kid you not, had everyone going. But yeah, that's pretty much what I think about. I think about for setting up production, I think about how I can keep everyone going and keep everyone happy. Food makes everyone happy.
Yes,
Tiffie, can you share examples of how meals from pop culture evoke nostalgia or foster community?
How it evokes nostalgia and fosters a sense of community. Well, man, I feel like food is such a universal thing. We all have different relationships with food, but Harry Potter ain't been out for how many years now? But everyone knows what we talk about when we say butterbeer. Even if you haven't tried butterbeer, you know what butterbeer is. You know what Harry's experience with butterbeer, what was in the books and in the movies. I don't know, before there was Universal Studios and a place to actually try butterbeer, we had the internet and butterbeer recipes that just came from somebody's kitchen. One was like a stick of butter melted into a cup and we drank it. It wasn't good, but it was very much a trial and error in figuring out these foods. I think, so it builds connections like that. You mentioned the coffee from Gilmore Girls, the food from Disneyland, which is across generations and years. We have the churros, we have the Dole Whips, things like that. You let a scene from a Ghibli movie play, and there's a sense of comfort that surrounds those food experiences. So I just think across different fandoms, we all hungry. And so there's these different things that we can find. I think that's one of the greatest things about food. It crosses language barriers. It's just taste. You just eat.
It makes me think of a classic Love Song. I love that movie, and I still love that movie, and I still don't know what it would taste like, even though I've had like a replica of it. I feel like that's not really.
That's not what William had in his mind. William
Prior.
His mama named him William. Mama called him William.
All right, perchance, in what ways can fandom food inspire creativity and offer insights into cultural phenomena and personal experiences?
Yeah, you guys are a complicated question. There's layers to that. I feel like.
How does food inspire creativity?
Well, I feel like, first of all, food is nourishment, right? So that helps you think. That's something I often forget because I'll wake up and I'll start working and then 5 o'clock in the evening I'm wondering why I can't think anymore. It's because I haven't eaten. But also, as a person who loves to cook, there's something creative about getting a recipe and then looking at it and being like, well, I'm not going to follow that. Which I do every day. And there's something really fun about that kind of energy of, making food is making art. It's another form of creation. It's another form of expressing love. And so I think all those things are very interlinked, as far as the DNA is concerned. And what was the second half of that question? Oh, personal experiences. Well, I think stuff like, I love Halo, right? I'm the number one fan. Don't listen to anyone else who says they are. I am.
Wait, what's your favorite patty pie?
My favorite patty pie? I like the recipes. I don't like them out of Walmart. And that ties into what I was going to say, because my mom and my dad don't appreciate Patty's talents the same way that I do. However, my mom bought the cookbook, so we were able to bond over the cookbook and going through and making recipes together. And so I was able to share something that really wanted me to up a little bit with my mom because we bonded over that in the kitchen. So.
All right, I know this is a kind of obvious question. But Albert, as a chocolatier, how do you integrate pop culture themes into your creations? Was that, I guess, something that you envisioned when you were getting into chocolate? Did you think, I am going to make little big Groots in chocolate form? Did that ever cross your mind?
Yeah.
You were getting
Thank you for the question. Actually, I love that question. As a chocolatier, we look at one product after another. Chocolate's chocolate, but what makes one product different from the other? It's it's the backstory. There's always an emotional attachment to food. There are times I will tell my story to some of my guests that come into my shop and they'll have sample my chocolates. Guys, gals, they, it doesn't matter. There are times when they will get emotional and they will take home and basically bring a story about your childhood. One time I had this one lady, she came over to my shop and I gave her a piece of, I make element steak caramel, so you have to come over. So I too infuse and bring over Filipino cultures, dishes, desserts, and infuse it to French patisserie and confections and combine them. And so then you get a taste of what ube marshmallow tastes like. Most Americans don't know what real ube tastes like, or calamansi. What is calamansi? Calamansi is like a Filipino lemon wine. You know, but it's our version is sweet, tangy, and sour all at the same time. I grew up in the Philippines, so yeah, so I'll tell you where to go. You know, and so so for me, I use pop culture as a guide to what to share to the community and to what's upcoming next. Because obviously, you know, you make bonbons after a while, it's not going to be the same. But the next movie, I'm like, you know what? I want to do Alien. So if you follow me on Alice 15 Sweets on Instagram, I am going to be making alien pods. And so I started, I was able to replicate the queen's head and the face and the pods. I was working on it for the movie years ago, but then I was pitching my chocolates for the movie Aliens. But then Guardians of the Galaxy hit me up and said, we want you to go over to Disneyland Studios and can you make us something? I'm like, what? Just some ideas. So one of my friends, he actually works for Mattel. He invented Monster High. And so he said, okay, I'll really be in front of big wigs in Disney. So if you're going to be in front of big wigs in Disney, close the deal. So what do you want to do? Teach yourself how to make molds, make something that will blow your minds, and close the deal that day. And so I took a crash course of how to make molds. So if you look up East Brothers, Ernesto East, he helped make the costume for Deadpool, the first Deadpool. So he came over to my house. He taught me how to do a crash course mold making. So I'm making molds with spoons and forks and like toothpicks. I'm like, dude, this is so Mickey Mouse. But hey, I performed for Mickey Mouse. So I brought in my samples of Groot, Gamora, Drax, Rocket to the studios, and then the chef was looking at me. He's like, I don't like K-pops. I'm like, oh shoot. I'm not gonna land this project. But he's like, but this is not a K-pop. This is art. I'm like, we will need about 1,000 of this. I don't even know how to make this. I get a prototype. I'm like, oh my gosh. So here I am working on it. So mind you, it takes me about 3 hours to do 50 units. And everything's hand painted. Everything's hand, like the eyes, the eyelashes, the moths. And so in answering that question, when I was presenting this to Disney, there was so much emotional passion that was coming out. People were not even eating my chocolates, you know. I made the alien pods for the casting crew and molding company in Burbank. Till this day, the guy said, I saved your chocolate. I don't want to eat it. And so now I watch movies, I watch cartoons, like what's the newest thing happening? Maybe go check out Crunchyroll. My partner, I just enrolled. Crunchyroll. What's the next anime happening? What's the next movie happening? And then from there, I do the whole making of something. And then from there, ride a wave. And then it's just me. I adore you, you have employees. I'm still the only employee at my shop. I'll get help soon. But, and so now I make a lot of chocolates for corporations, for Genesis, Disney's my biggest customer, David Herman, and then some of these like cartoon movies are beginning to hit me up for movies, Frozen, Ratatouille, and it brings out so much emotions that now it is not just a treat, it's an experience. So I will never run out of context. I remember my mom, okay, Filipino mom, okay, Albert, how much money do you make? What is that? What is the net profit? So, you're not a nurse, you're not a doctor, you're a candy maker, so how much are you making? And so now how about the content page? how do you run out? Or how do you come up with ideas? The beautiful thing about this, creativity is endless. I will never run out of content. And because of my current business model, it's just me. And when I land a corporate client, one person can do a lot, as opposed to creating the masses. So I focus on 80-20 split, corporations to general public, and it's just me running the whole show. And I love it.
Last but not least, I know we only have a couple minutes left, and I don't want to pressure any of you, but for Chriselle, I know your story is so beautiful, and I wanted to share a little bit of that. And is there a particular dish or taste that is very iconic to you? How have you incorporated that taste into your bakery, whether it's cultural or something that you love? Are you okay?
Oh, yeah. Wait. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think, so, I feel like you're speaking for me.
Speaking together.
So, calamansi and halo halo, abika, ube. Those are a lot of staple flavors in the Filipino culture. And I remember as a kid, my grandmother would order vanilla sunsets, abika, and I would sprinkle, at the time, I didn't know what white stuff this was. Okay, I'm going to keep eating. It was really, it was like just shredded coconut. Okay, it was shredded coconut. And as a kid, I would just sprinkle it like if it were sprinkles. And I have transformed the staple cake into a donut form at my bakery, and it has been a popular hit. It's so iconic in that so many Filipinos and in general people who have had a bika understand what that flavor is and can relate to their childhood as well. And then putting it together and just seeing their reactions is just so phenomenal. You know, it's a community that we can truly gather off of food and what we tasted. A halo halo cupcake is what actually I want to do a plug. If you guys are in town, take a picture of me here, and I will give you a free cupcake if you send it to me. On me, and I would love for you guys to try. I actually asked Steph today if I could bring one for everyone who came today, and unfortunately I couldn't. I don't know why.
I'd be throwing like cannon and cupcakes, all of it.
But for those of you who are not familiar with halo halo, it's a very popular dessert drink. So what it comes with is milk, condensed milk, evaporated milk, ice. So it's like a fun slushy. And halo halo means like, it's not like, but it means mix. And what you do is you mix all these toppings together. I've incorporated it into a cupcake with a funfetti vanilla base, which then is filled with leche flan filling. And then on top, I've made a cream very similar to ube magnolia ice cream, and it just the taste is in cupcake form. On top of that, there's the coconut jelly that I love, monkey, and paneer cake as well. So it's just representing for our culture, turning food into art, and there's just so much passion behind it, and you know everyone eats it, and whoever has had a halo halo can truly understand what it
All right, we have time for some questions, so let's hear them. Whoa.
What's the name of your bakery?
It's Flower Atelier, and it's located next to Mitsua in Current
Thank you.
Next, anybody else? Yes.
Can we go there today? Will you be there?
you asked if we tried to make any of the food fandom things at home. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the cookbooks. So there's an official Harry Potter cookbook, Game of Thrones. I got 3 Bridgerton cookbooks. I am living my best life. But for me, definitely, yes.
I definitely made the ramen. It's phenomenal. I did not know I was going to cook it that well. And I found a new trick to like do. I heard you put milk in yours to make it creamy. I like to actually drop the eggs in there straight from the crack of the egg and let it like marinate like that. And it's all creamy and stuff. Yeah, phenomenal. Could not believe it.
Yeah, my Gen Z friends have been trying to get me to post on TikTok more, and because I cook all the time, and I've been trying to cook random things from shows I watch. Like the Community show me makes pizza with ketchup and cream cheese, and I've been trying to perfect that recipe, and I'm pretty close actually.
Who's the last one?
We're down to our last one, and we'll be outside answering your burning questions. But Ariel, you pick.
Who likes Bluey?
Go ahead.
Do you have a particular scene of like food in media, something like the Harry Potter breakfast scene or the communal scene that is particularly like seen in
Oh, JK's coming up last night. I feel like for me it's definitely the scene hook. I think I said it on this video before, but yeah, the big food fight scene hook is just epic, and especially as a kid, and the magic of like imagination and food and all those things. It's hot.
House moving castle when they were cooking the breakfast with Calcifer. So that bacon was so thick. I was like, where did they get that bacon from?
I think.
Are you doing something cosplay? Wow! Oh my gosh! Wow! Yes, take your main character moment. Yes.
I don't know. I think when the turtles ate pizza the first time, I think about that often. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Is that your Roman Empire?
That's my Roman Empire.
I think that's it. We have gotten the signal to stop. We want to thank you all so much for sharing.
QR code one more time, and the reason why is at the end of these slides is actually recipes from our panelists, and a video of Chance in a food fight for Dante Bosco's birthday. I don't know if you know who that actor is.
He played Frank Hook, who's the voice of Zuko, the American Dragon.
He was also in the Goofy movie.
I didn't know. I think I sent you guys that video.
Yeah. So lots of fun stuff, plenty of things to look at. Thank